Good afternoon. I am Jeremiah Holliday, Interim Chief Academic Officer for Milwaukee Public Schools. Welcome to all of you, and I'm so happy you are joining us today to learn about the academic expectations for our students and families. Joining me today is a team of individuals who support the work of academics within our district, and I will introduce them shortly. At this time, I will turn it over to Christina Green for an announcement.
Good afternoon. My name is Christina Green from the Office of Communications and Outreach. I will make an announcement about ASL interpretation services. If you need ASL interpretation services, please pin ASL Interpreter 2 by clicking on the three dots in the upper right-hand corner of your camera window and select Pin Video. If you want to enable closed captioning services, please click on the CC icon on your toolbar at the bottom of your screen. Repetir este mensaje en español. Si usted necesita de servicios de interpretación al español, por favor haga clic en el icono que parece un mundo en la barra de herramientas de la parte inferior de su pantalla y seleccione Spanish o español. Gracias. Thank you.
As we continue to learn and navigate this way of learning with our students and families, we recognize the importance of providing ongoing support to all of our partners in education. That means you as our parents. I'm excited to have with me today team members who will present information from their area of expertise. As we begin the presentation, I ask that you utilize the chat box feature to pose your questions. And we will pause at some point during the presentation for questions from the moderator, Dr. John Hill, so that you have an opportunity to join this conversation around advancing academics for your child. The names before you are the individuals who will be presenting to us on this evening, and they will introduce themselves once they start. As we move to our 5 priorities for success, in an effort to meet our 5 priorities for success, this Zoom session will help parents and families understand expectations for students in AP, IB, early childhood, bilingual, Montessori, and special education programs during phase 1 of the MPS school reopening plan. We will share ways that families can engage in their child's virtual learning and support academic success. The team will answer questions from families to help address concerns with at-home learning and online education. This evening, we have anchored our work or our presentation in priorities number 1 and 5. Our goal is to increase academic achievement and accountability and strengthen communication with our partners in education. Our agenda tonight, our time this evening will follow the printed agenda that is before you at this time. We will have opportunities to address questions from the chat room divided into part 1 and part 2 of the presentation. We will begin now with advanced placements after the family and parent support from Mr. Darrell Hall.
Well, thank you, Dr. Holliday, and good evening, families. Tonight, I want to highlight the support we have put in place to assist families. In working with Dr. Tony Deacon, we have created easy to step through tutorials to help families navigate Google Classroom, Clever, and the digital tools we are requiring students to use. There are short 3 to 5 minute videos designed to answer questions quickly because we know how busy that our families are. And we want to make sure that we provide the right information the right way. So the tutorials have their very own home in the new school reopening website. And you may visit that school reopening website on the MPS homepage or using this quick link, mymps.org, to learn more about what's available in the school reopening website. Again, that's mymps.org. We have also made sure that existing family resources that have already been developed are more readily accessible to you. These resources include, but are not limited to, parent self-care tips, best practices for handling Chromebooks, and much, much more. Our existing resources are being made available through a variety of formats, which includes printed copies families can request from their child's school. So the parent coordinators at the child's schools are familiar with, and these are all of the parent coordinators are familiar with the resources and stand ready to assist families. My role is to support the parent coordinators in the work that they do around engaging families. To help families stay informed and connected during phase 1, we have developed a plan, a virtual plan, and are training the parent coordinators as we speak. My team has created a comprehensive Google Classroom for parent coordinators to use as a one-stop shop to better support their families. This classroom is where parent coordinators can access relevant resources, information, and tools to work with their family as a way of onboarding them for this new school year. In addition, we want to ensure that families are getting what they need. Parent coordinators will be essential contacts in the school to assist families. They are knowledgeable about the resources on the MPS reopening site and will be available to help families navigate and kind of wayfind to assess this information. I would like to add that parent coordinators will be available virtually, and they will have dedicated office hours to meet and engage family, both virtually and physically. Parents should contact their child's school for those hours. Lastly, we will continue to have ongoing support and training for parent coordinators throughout the school year. And we have also standardized the way parents and families have received communication about their child's progress through the use of weekly summaries featured in the child's Google Classroom. This feature allows parents to receive feedback on assignments and projects as soon as the teacher posts it in Google Classroom. We will still continue to keep in touch with parents through phone call and email. Those have not gotten away or gone away. Be sure that your child have updated contact information for us. So please contact your school if your number or if your address have changed. And finally, parents will have support with technology, an extension of the help desk that was developed last spring. This will continue and include support for families who speak other languages through the language line. In addition, we have added extra staff to take calls at our 414-438-3400 number, so that we're here to support you in your child's Chromebook needs. Again, that's 438-3400. Now with that, I will turn it back over.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. At this time, we would have the advanced academics, Dr. Patricia Ellis.
Thank you, Dr. Holliday. Good evening. My name is Dr. Patricia Ellis, and I serve as the Interim Director of Equity, Access, and Inclusion, and as the Advanced Academics Manager for the Milwaukee Public Schools. Advanced Academics is for all students who apply the best of their abilities or skills to their work, are encouraged and motivated to really try hard and maintain a positive attitude while they work, because these are the things that create excellence. Within advanced academics, there are 4 programs offered by the College Board. The first is Springboard. This program for students in grades 6 through 12 focuses on English language arts and mathematics. Instruction, assessments, and learning help to create a pathway to college and career. Schools that offer the Springboard program in English language arts and/or mathematics are listed. The second program is Pre-AP. Pre-AP builds, strengthens, and reinforces content knowledge and skills that prepare students for advanced placement, AP, and other college level coursework. High schools that offer Pre-AP are listed below. The third program, which many of you are probably most familiar with, is Advanced Placement, or AP. This program offers college-level courses and exams to high school juniors and seniors. However, more academically advanced sophomores sometimes take AP courses too. Students gain time management, problem solving, writing skills, and strong study habits while enrolled in AP courses. Students receiving a 3 or higher on their AP exam or exams may receive college credit upon graduation from high school. The following schools offer AP courses. The fourth College Board offering is AP Capstone. This program consists of a seminar and research course to prepare students for college level work. Students who earn a score of 3 or higher in AP seminar and AP research and on 4 additional AP exams receive an AP Capstone diploma, which represents outstanding achievement and attainment of college-level academic and research skills. Schools offering AP Capstone research and seminar are listed. This year's theme for advanced placement is supporting schools from day 1 to exam day. Resources available for your young person and/or you include personal progress checks aligned to daily coursework, and AP Daily, an on-demand review of skills, which became available on September 1st. Additional resources are available for you to support your young person on AP Central. These parent-guardian resources are available with access to your young person's AP access code and at the following link. In spring 2021, AP exams are scheduled for May 3rd through May 7th and May 10th through May 14th. For more information about the 2021 AP exam schedule, please go to the
Dr. Ellis, you accidentally muted yourself. Can you please unmute yourself?
Key words of this poem, such as search, read, think, learn, do, create, share, collaborate, communicate, connect, know, and grow, reveal key practices of International Baccalaureate, or IB. The IB classroom and school transforms students and schools. Learning happens as a result of rich and engaging cycles of inquiry or asking questions, seeking information, and investigating and examining ideas, beliefs, and perspectives, taking action, and reflecting on familiar and unfamiliar information. Teachers enable and support students as they develop approaches to learning they need for academic and personal success. In many ways, the same can be said about how you engage with your young person at home. Learning in an IB World School focuses on students, provides students with opportunities to participate in learning through a worldwide view, and helps students to understand different languages and cultures. It also allows students to explore coursework that meets challenging and rigorous international standards. This way of learning and interacting with others is critical because our young people must be prepared to live, work, and play in a society that is local, national, and global. In order to support the development of the whole individual, the IB Learner Profile aims to develop students who display these skills and traits. The elements of this profile nurture and support students to become lifelong learners, builds their critical and creative thinking skills, teaches them how to work with others in a fair and just manner, promotes a sense of service to others and the community, and allows young people to know, in the words of Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can do it. MPS is proud to offer all 4 of the IB programs, beginning with the primary years program. This program prepares students to become active, caring, and lifelong learners. The middle years program encourages students to make connections between their studies and the real world. As they read and expand their knowledge, students make text to self, text to text, and text to world connections as they compare and contrast known and new information. The diploma program aims to develop students who love challenging and rigorous work in and outside of the classroom. Their curiosity was strong in the early grades and is even more evident during their high school years. These students love being in a rigorous learning environment, and they hold themselves to high expectations. Many colleges and universities award credit for scores of 4 or higher on an IB diploma program exam. The last of the 4 IB programs is the career program. This program is designed for students who wish to engage in classes that focus on career-related interests. Students in The career program courses also participate in internships and apprenticeships that support continued opportunities upon graduation from high school, such as pursuing higher education and/or pursuing employment. Additional information about each of the 4 IB programs can be found on the link provided. If you have young people enrolled in IB courses, you may find a copy of the IB fall and spring exam schedules at the link provided. There is a Chinese proverb that says, if you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, educate people. Parents and guardians, although your young people may be in middle school or high school, you play a critical role in nurturing and encouraging them to make learning a lifetime pursuit. If your young person is in any of the programs presented, please encourage them to read a variety of literature, fiction, and informational text, nonfiction. Nurture and encourage your young person's interests. I recently heard about an African-American father of 2 who started his career as a security guard at a hospital, and he has now earned his PhD and is enrolled in medical school. The same could happen for your young person and/or you. So have family discussions about what is being taught in school, what is happening locally, and world events. Encourage your young person to engage in research and writing. Have evenings for them to share new information as you listen and provide feedback. And let your young person know that the greatest people learn and accomplish amazing things as a result of failure and taking risks. Encourage them to reach for the stars. Now it is my pleasure to present Ms. Sarah Borges, who will share information with you about English as a second language. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Ellis. My name is Sarah Borges, English as a Second Language Curriculum Specialist in the Department of Bilingual Multicultural Education. I will present on the topic of English as a Second Language, or ESL. The goal of the ESL program is to develop language so that students reach full English proficiency. ESL services are provided during remote learning. School principals and teachers develop a schedule for services. What do ESL students do? They learn and practice skills and strategies for communicating in English language arts, mathematics, social studies, and science. Communication includes listening, speaking, reading, and writing. What does an ESL teacher do? ESL teachers modify lessons at the English proficiency level of your child. This ensures that students at all levels of English proficiency can participate in their learning. With the help of an interpreter, teachers communicate with parents. They may use Google Meet to assist parents with their questions about their child's education. How can parents help? Some things that parents can do to help their child become fully English proficient include use your home language to talk about school and other everyday things. Sing songs and play games together as a family. Read stories about your cultural background and tell stories about your family's past. Plan goals with your child and ask family members, friends, or your child's teacher for ideas on ways to meet the goals. ESL and Special Education. If your child qualifies for ESL and special education services, then they will have access to both programs. Your child's teachers communicate frequently to plan instruction and services that meet your child's specific needs. I now turn the presentation over to Mrs. Rocio Trejo.
Thank you, Ms. Borges. Welcome. I'm Rocio Trejo, Bilingual Curriculum Specialist, serving out of the Department of Bilingual Multicultural Education. In MPS, bilingual education takes place through dual language programming. The goals of the program include high levels of bilingualism, biliteracy, and academic achievement in both languages, English and Spanish. In MPS, these goals are nurtured through a carefully designed content and language allocation plan, which simply outlines the percentage of daily instruction dedicated to each language and the subjects that are taught in each language. As a district, we use green to denote Spanish and blue to denote English. When reading the table from left to right, we see grade level specifications for the language of instruction. For example, in 5-year-old kindergarten, students in the bilingual program receive 90% of their daily instruction in Spanish and 10% in English. In first grade, daily instruction in Spanish is at 80% and daily instruction in English is at 20%. The percentage of instruction in English continues to increase every year as shown in the table, until students reach 4th grade. From 4th through 12th grade, instruction in each language is assigned to 50%. The last two columns show the content areas that are taught in each language. For example, in grades K5 through 5th, we see that science and mathematics are in green. This means that Spanish is the primary language of instruction in the area of science and mathematics at these grade levels. Therefore, Spanish-speaking parents of bilingual students can support the learning of science and mathematics in Spanish at home. We see that in grades 6th through 8th, science and mathematics are primarily taught in English. This gives students the opportunity to learn content in each language throughout their educational career in MPS. In order to promote language and academic achievement, the bilingual program in MPS makes use of the Biliteracy Unit framework. This unit designs has 3 major components. In building oracy, teachers encourage students to develop their speaking and listening skills, which fosters vocabulary and comprehension. This attention to oral language development also facilitates students' ability to read and write in each language. During the bridge, students are guided to compare and contrast their languages side by side, noting similarities and differences. This process helps students transfer concepts and skills they have learned in one language to the other. The extension provides students with meaningful ways during which they can practice the newly learned academic vocabulary, concepts, and skills in the other language. We are excited to announce the availability of new online resources for the area of Spanish literacy. Those are Arriba la Lectura for grades K5 through 6 and Galería de Lengua y Cultura for grades 7th and 8th. Both can be found in Clever. Additional resources in Spanish are listed on this slide. They include Learning A to Z, Envision Math, Discovery Education, and TCI. Students can access them through Clever. Resources in Spanish for home learning can be found on the MPS homepage by hovering over students and selecting resources. Families are then able to select the bilingual resources page. Children benefit greatly from interacting with their family members. We thank you for your partnership in learning and using this slide to reference ways through which you support learning at home. Activities like reading, conversing, singing, and playing are essential to a child's development. Please continue to engage with your child in these and many other ways.
Thank you. At this time, we will pause to allow for some questions from the chat box. Dr. Hill, please share several questions relative to the program areas covered, AP, IB, or ESL. And the team will answer questions from families to help address concerns with at-home learning and online education.
So far, we've had 2 questions from our participants. Both are related to schools. Our first person is asking if schools are required to host similar webinars as to this webinar we're doing right now. And our second question is the participant is asking, who should they contact when they're having difficulty having communication with the teacher or school?
Thank you, Dr. Hill. I'll address the 2 questions that's put forth at this time. With the first question, in terms of whether or not schools are required to have this level of communication with their families or doing presentations, I know that some schools are providing some level of communication, but however, this serves as a mechanism for anyone within our district to be able to provide any questions that they may have, and we can answer those questions at the district level. If you're having concerns with reaching your teachers at this moment, I will certainly ask that you contact me here in my office after this presentation at 414-475-8871, and I will work with you on ensuring that you reach your teacher and the principal. So again, you can contact me directly, Dr. Holliday, at 414-475-8871 immediately following this presentation. Thank you.
And Dr. Holliday, we did get one more question. It's from a teacher who's here on behalf of their English learners' parents. And the question is, can we please clarify how parents who do not speak English can use Language Line to contact tech support?
I would direct that question over to the Department of BME.
Hello, Ms. Sivek. This is Sarah Borges, English as a Second Language Curriculum Specialist. The Language Line is a district level use for central office staff as well as school staff. Therefore, parents are unable to access the Language Line themselves. We do encourage schools to be in frequent communication with parents. That includes primarily ensuring that they have access to their education. So staff can use the Language Line to communicate with parents, and they can set up appointments with parents. And if parents require additional services or support, then schools can work together as a team, or they can contact centralized offices to request the additional supports that our families need. Please let us know if this does not address your question.
Thank you, Ms. Borges. At this time, we're going to move forward in the presentation to part 2, Montessori and MTS. I will pass it over to Ms. Abigail Rausch.
Hello, I'm Abigail Rausch, Montessori Coordinator for the Milwaukee Public Schools. Milwaukee Public Schools is dedicated to providing an authentic, world-class Montessori education. MPS offers the nation's largest cluster of public Montessori schools. Our 8 tuition-free Montessori schools enroll more than 4,000 students annually. In a Montessori classroom, children work with specially designed hands-on materials that teach only one concept at a time and allow the child to work independently to master that one skill. Dr. Maria Montessori, the Italian pediatrician who founded the methodology over 100 years ago, observed the way that children learn through exploration and developed a new system of education. Utilizing the MPS School Reopening Plan, a Montessori Reopening team was developed to address the specific needs of Montessori programs. The team consisted of the Montessori coordinator, principals, a school support teacher, a parent coordinator, a special education teacher, and classroom teachers from each of the levels. Each of the 7 public Montessori schools was represented on the committee. The Montessori Reopening team developed a framework to support families and students, as well as staff, as we move through the district's reopening phases. Curriculum support and guidance for teachers has been developed as we adapt our Montessori methods to a virtual instruction. We are providing children with access to Montessori material alternatives while they are working at home. This includes Montessori materials reimagined on paper, physical Montessori materials being sent home, and utilizing virtual versions of Montessori materials. Our work supports students with special needs, as well as our learners with language needs. Our teachers will collaborate with the regular education teachers to provide instruction within the Google or Seesaw platform. Each of the MPS Montessori schools has a Montessori Virtual Learning from Home Family Guide. This guide has clear communication in regard to student expectations, space allocations at home, and support for parents on key Montessori concepts such as practical life and ownership in learning. The Montessori Virtual Learning from Home Family Guide is located on your school's website. Paper copies are available upon request at your school. During phase 1 of virtual learning at home, our goal is to collaborate with families to keep the love of learning alive in all children. We plan to do this by providing regular lessons from classroom teachers, which is synchronous learning, along with follow-up activities to do on their own or with the support from home, asynchronous learning. Montessori is rooted in the process of learning. While it is important to complete work, do not disregard the steps taken, steps repeated, steps rethought, steps tried again along the way that really provide the most effective learning. We want learning to be joyful, and we want all children to feel connected to what they're learning. Home and school communication will be more important than ever, and each school site will communicate its specific modes of communication. Each school will provide its specific expectations regarding schedules, calendar events, grading, attendance, and the community expectations. Some tips for while you're working at home. In a Montessori classroom, children are given large blocks of time to explore their work deeply. When working at home, try not to interrupt when your child is concentrating. In the classroom, grace and courtesy is a specific type of lesson, and these practices help to develop a sense of community and social norms and are serving to reinforce kindness. At home, this can also include cleanup of the child's activity. At home or at school, children thrive in environments that promote repetition, routine, and the mastery of purposeful movement. Allow your child to choose activities and give the opportunity for periods of time without distraction. Dr. Montessori felt that children learn best by learning through doing, using a material to understand the hows and the whys behind a concept. When working at home, try to have a real example or something for the child to interact with to learn a concept. Have a real leaf to dissect, or use something like noodles for the child to move around while they're doing math. Many specific Montessori materials will be coming home from your school for your child to use during this period of virtual instruction. And lastly, practical life are skills that our children will need to master to become successful adults. It is part of every Montessori classroom and can be mirrored at home. Examples of practical life include setting the table, watering plants, tidying and organizing rooms, taking care of pets, or preparing a meal. At home, you can organize a job chart or make a list of family projects that need to be completed. For more information about Montessori and MPS, or the Montessori Reopening Plan, please visit the district website at mpsmke.com/Montessori. You can email me at mpsmontessori@milwaukee.k12.wi.us, or you can contact your child's school directly.
Hello, I'm Neva Moga, Instructional Technology Supervisor for Milwaukee Public Schools, and I just want to talk a little bit about Seesaw, which is our newest learning tool that we are using in MPS. It is a learning management tool similar to a Google Classroom, which has been used for several years throughout the district. We purchased Seesaw to use this year for our youngest learners. So this is a new resource that we have adopted district-wide. It's basically your child's virtual classroom. It's where your child will receive assignments and work, and where your child can provide evidence of their learning. A quick view into what the parent view of Seesaw looks like. So while your child will be submitting assignments and work through Seesaw to the teacher can invite you to have a view into the student's journal. So when you're invited to access the child's journal, this is what it would look like. You can see across the top when you'll access Seesaw, you can download the app or go to the website that the teacher will share with you. You'll see at the top there's a section for home, there's the child's journal. When you look at the child's journal, you'll be able to see any work that was tagged with your child's name and any posts that a teacher tags as everyone to see. Typically, you students only see their own work unless a teacher chooses to share another child's work. Okay, families will also be able to see any comments that their child received on their work that's been posted or that's been made by another user if that's allowed. Family members are not able to access other students' journals, only their own child, okay? And so this is just a view. You can see that a parent could hit the like button and actually give feedback to their child as well at looking at the child's journal. And now I'll turn it over to Joandy Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Moga. Hello, parents and the community at large. My name is Joandy Williams, and I serve as the Early Childhood Learning Manager for our district. I want to welcome you to this evening and becoming our partners in your child's education. We're excited to have them in school, and I know as parents, we are experiencing a lot of emotions as our children are heading to school, maybe for the first time in a virtual setting. Please know that we are here. Here at MPS, we're here to support you through this new milestone in your child's life. As your child enters K3, K4, whether in Montessori, bilingual, Head Start, or specialized services, as you'll hear more later in this presentation, and the like, it is a whole new world of opportunities for learning new information. This year, your child will learn a variety of skills using the Froxer curriculum, that is an integrated curriculum. Early childhood encompasses important milestones in your child's life. These are critical years when your child takes the first steps towards developing individual skills, talents, attitudes. MPS wants your child to become an enthusiastic learner at the start of his or her education. We're committed to developing the whole child to ensure that every child is healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged. As you know, your child will engage in virtual learning at the start of the school year. With that being said, successful virtual learning involves a strong connection with families, since parents are teachers too. So expect heightened communication with both the children and parents, primarily using the Seesaw platform, as Ms. Moga stated. Families should expect additional guidance on how to support these learners at home, provided from your child's school. Teachers will offer a daily life lesson that sets the context of the day, known as a Brain Smart Start. This community building exercise embeds a social emotional focus and an interactive, intentional morning message. In addition to offering engaging small group literacy, math, and science activities that generally last 10 to 15 minutes. Multiple movement breaks and time for play will be part of the routine. As teachers strive to create an optimal virtual learning state, they will continue to connect with students and families throughout weekly individual conferences, so to ensure that learning needs are addressed. For virtual learning, your child, again, as I stated earlier, will be using the Seesaw Learning Management Tool for grades K3 through K5, which are more developmentally appropriate resources, a learning platform for our youngest learners. You should have already received this information from your child's school with regard to login information. Now remember, as parents, as we are teachers too, we have some resources for you. We have the parents.frogstreet.com portal. The Frog Street portal is a portal for young learners. Frog Street is excited to support educators and families with children of ages of 3 and 4 by providing resources for the curriculum at home. These engaging resources offer first steps towards empowering families with the tools they need to influence academic growth at home. You can access over 250 English and Spanish electronic books, activities, and songs from the Frog Street Empowering Families and Sing and Read collections simply by creating an account and login information. Again, at parents.frogstreet.com. These titles, over the 250 titles I mentioned, offer early digital literacy library books, again, stating collection of English and Spanish. There's over 65 audio narrations and ready-to-use tips and ideas to help families use interactive and purposeful reading strategies when enjoying the books at home with their children. Additionally, there are e-stories and literacy and math collections, and again, in English and Spanish, using familiar songs to promote oral language development and early literacy skills, bringing joyful instruction to children, one song at a time. This program includes nearly 200 titles that provide the springboard for learning early literacy skills such as and including phonological awareness, vocabulary comprehension, alphabet knowledge, writing skills, and essential math concepts. We also have additional resources, again, for you all for using the MPS MKE early childhood page, which is mpsmke.com/early childhood. This webpage focuses on providing parents and showing them what the 5 elements of high quality early childhood learning experiences look like. You'll find links for instruction, family support and transition, social emotional learning and cultural and linguistic needs, and some early childhood staff development and equitable resources as well. You will also have access to work with your young learners and transition activities on this page as well. Additionally, teachers will have pre-recorded the large group, whole group context setting lesson for the day. This lesson can be accessed through the link that will be shared with you from your child's teacher daily, along with supporting activities with families. Additionally, our district offers supports for our families on the Family Services page under Social Emotional Learning page as well to help develop that social emotional learning with your youngster at home. And finally, to help your child transition more smoothly into the school year, here are some quick tips to do so. So help your child become more independent by managing his or her own bathroom needs, taking care of his or her own clothing, such as doing zippers, buttons, belts, and buckles, and encourage them to clean up after themselves during mealtime and playtime, and then also providing him or her with opportunities to use pencils, crayons, and safety scissors. Another way is help your child develop their social skills by sharing toys and materials with others. Following the rules created by the adults in their lives, such as at preschool or in the home setting, and asking for help and offering help to others when needed. Finally, help your child acquire a love of learning by talking with your child about the things that you do together. Listen to your child's ideas and answering his or her questions, encouraging him and her to try new activities and problem solve their challenges. And then reading books together and telling stories together and singing their favorite children's songs and reciting your favorite chants and rhymes. And finally, also remember that to foster daily routines and have good eating habits at home, such as a consistent bedtime, nutritious snacks, and limited TV watching and computer game playing. Kindergarten is a busy place with a full day of activities where well-rested, healthy children thrive. So now I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Clarissa Ramos, who is a Head Start Program Supervisor, and we'll talk to you more about that program in our district.
Thank you, Joanne. Hi, families. First I will go over and just talk about Head Start. So we are a free child and family.
Ms. Ramos, I'm going to need to interrupt you. We were having problems with your microphone. Maybe we can pass it on to the next presenter, and Ms. Ramos, you can select the icon next to your microphone, and you can use the phone dial-in option. We can get you back in, because right now we're not able to hear you. So.
Good evening. I am Jennifer Mims-Howe, Senior Director of Specialized Services. As all of my colleagues have mentioned, the programs in Milwaukee Public Schools are available to all qualifying students, including students with disabilities. All services offered by Milwaukee Public Schools to non-disabled students during the reopening phases will also be available to students with disabilities. Individual education programs, or IEP, services will be provided to students with disabilities regardless of the curriculum platform. As you have heard from my colleagues, currently Milwaukee Public Schools is educating students virtually using Google Classroom and/or the Seesaw platforms. During this time, Milwaukee Public Schools continues to be responsible for child find and referrals. They are responsible for providing outreach activities and screening to identify children suspected of having a disability and in need of special education services. School-based staff and MPS Child Find Office will assist parents and community personnel with referring children. If a referral for a student was submitted during our spring school closure, Milwaukee Public School staff are currently contacting parents to schedule safe in-person assessments so that evaluations can be completed. Milwaukee Public Schools identifies, locates, and evaluates all children with disabilities who need special education and related services. This includes students who attend private schools, children who are not yet age 3, and students who are highly mobile, such as homeless students, and also students who are suspected of being a child with a disability. Milwaukee Public Schools also offers 3-year evaluations to former MPS students or students attending a private school. This year, we will send out those requests after the 3rd Friday in September. Milwaukee Public Schools continues to receive referrals during this time and will comply to all required timelines, including conducting annual IEP meetings. Families will receive phone calls regarding the timelines for assessment. As I said before, face-to-face assessments are being scheduled during phase 1 for initial evaluations as well as re-evaluations. Special education and IEP services continue to be offered. IEP teams must keep the needs of the students in the forefront as they work creatively to make sure that a student's present level of performance and the effects of their disability-related need are being addressed during each IEP meeting. While using strategies shared in Milwaukee Public Schools' ambitious instruction plan, classroom teachers will work together with the special education teacher to develop achievable IEP goals. Students should be participating in their classroom either using Seesaw or the Google Classroom. In collaboration with their teachers and service providers, students with disabilities should be making progress toward the goals regardless the mode of instruction. The development of IEP services could look different based on the possible English language comprehension levels or placement of the student, whether it be in a Montessori classroom, a traditional school, and even a Head Start classroom, which you will hear of shortly.
Ms. Mims-Howell, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
Will you slow the pace down for our interpreters, please?
I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you.
As I said, if the hours of instruction for all students is being reduced, then the IEP team can consider whether a student with disabilities time also should be reduced. Related service time can be adjusted to meet the student's needs. An IEP team meeting should be held to document any changes in services and to consider whether the services in the IEP can be delivered as written. Please contact your child's teacher with questions and to schedule an IEP meeting. All services written in the IEP will be delivered by the special education teacher and/or related service provider during the school building closure. Milwaukee Public Schools will work to provide a free, appropriate public education to all students during the different modes of instruction, be it in person, virtual, and/or hybrid. Please contact your child's IEP teacher to discuss the options and modes of instruction. MPS understands that virtual learning does not meet the needs of all students. If an IEP service cannot be conducted as written, a meeting will be held to review the IEP, and the team will work with the family to discuss which services can be provided during this virtual time of instruction, such as therapies. Please contact your child's teacher and service provider with questions and to schedule an IEP meeting. There are many options that can be discussed. For our students with 504 needs, teachers and the specialized services staff members who work with these students will look at specific resources and supports that are appropriate to meet the student's needs. Staff will look through the accommodations listed in the student's 504 plan and specifically identify those accommodations that are appropriate in our current educational delivery model being used. Non-conventional services are offered by teachers and support staff. These will continue to be offered during phase 1. These activities that are offered can be worked on at home during this remote learning time. They will help students achieve their IEP goals and also make connections to the community resources. We currently are offering services plans to our students who attend private schools, support for our school age and parenting youth, as well as students who are currently in the home and hospital programs. All services currently offered by Milwaukee Public Schools to non-disabled students during this remote time are also offered to students with disabilities, including our non-conventional services. Milwaukee Public Schools is educating all students on an online curriculum platform while offering resources and the use of Chromebooks. Specialized services staff members may have knowledge of resources that are appropriate to meet the needs of the students in your home, as well as some community resources that may benefit you and your family. If a student has not been contacted by their teachers, or if you have questions, please feel free to contact the school leader. The Department of Specialized Services is also available to meet your needs. The number is 414-438-3648. Once again, 414-438-3648. If you are a parent or guardian with specific questions regarding any of the programs that you've heard about this evening or regarding your child with a disability, please first reach out to your child's teacher, then reach out to your child's school, and once again, feel free to contact the Department of Specialized Instruction. Thank you for being partners in your child's education. Now I will turn it back over to Ms. Ramos.
Can you hear me now?
We can, thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right, sorry about that. So I will go ahead and start with talking about what is Head Start. So we are a free child and family development program, and we offer half and full day classroom experiences in K3 and K4. And we also offer a solid curriculum to establish school readiness skills. I'm excited to share out some national data that outlines some of the many benefits of our Head Start program for our K-3 and K-4 students. For instance, Head Start prepares young children and families to succeed in classrooms and in life. Compared to their peers, Head Start children are more likely to graduate high school, attend college, have a job, and enjoy good health. Children of Head Start are also healthier. And you can take a look at the stats that prove that, but I'll just share out a couple. So 96% are vaccinated and have a doctor, and 97% have health insurance. Head Start children make substantial progress in narrowing the achievement gap. You can take a look at the bottom left-hand corner where, as you can see in vocabulary, early reading, early writing, and early math, from the fall to the spring, Head Start children are making substantial progress. Also, overall, 95% of parents meet with teachers. So we have a high family engagement. Next, I will provide information pertaining to Head Start academics, social and disability services, and health and wellness. We support learning through play, creative expression, and guided activities. We build strong relationships with both children and families as the foundation of early learning. We promote language and literacy development, early math and science concepts, and build and have positive attitudes toward learning. In terms of social and disability services, we help families find assistance in challenging times. We use data from our family needs assessment that families complete during the registration process, and we provide supports to families that are based on their specific needs. We help families identify and reach goals around employment, training, and parenting, and we build on children's strengths and individualize experiences to meet their needs. We collaborate with community agencies when further assessment is needed. In terms of health and wellness, we promote physical development, both indoors and outdoors. And when we are open to the public, we serve healthy breakfast and lunch. We also provide medical, dental, hearing, vision, and behavioral screenings. And we are open for enrollment, so please feel free to move your feet to save your seat. And we have our contactless registration event going on at Grant Gordon Early Learning Center, and that's also the Head Start Welcome Center in our parking lot. And we have the address that's located at 921 West Meineke Avenue, and that's going on until September 18th. And we actually extended the hours. So instead of from 10 until 2 o'clock, we have extended the hours until 4 o'clock, okay? And also you can get more information from our website, which we have located here on this slide, mpsmke.com/Head Start. I've also included our contact information. Our phone number is 414-252-0350. Or you can also email us at enrollme@headstart@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. We do have a 3-step process in order to enroll, which includes, this can all be found on our website. So there's an online application, or you can pick up a paper application at our contactless registration event, if you prefer that. And then you would complete the ages and stages questionnaire. And then from there, a Head Start rep will be able to contact you via phone or email to support you. And you want to make sure that when you do come to our contactless registration event, that you have proof of income, proof of your child's date of birth, and proof of address, as well as shot records. Thank you.
At this time, We will pause to allow for some additional questions from the chat box. Dr. Hill, please share several questions relative to the program areas covered in part 2 of our presentation.
Dr. Holliday, our questions mainly were around Seesaw and locating the application in Clever. And I see Ms. Neva Moga is answering the questions in the chat box, but this might be a good opportunity for her to walk people through it.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hill. I was just responding in the chat, but the students at a Montessori school, if Seesaw is now missing from Clever and it had been present previously, there was some work we're doing in Clever today and with our Seesaw enrollment and registration and setup for Montessori school. So there may be, the app may be missing for those in a Montessori school, but we are working on fixing that. So if it's not there today, you should see it tomorrow.
And Dr. Holliday, that really was the only questions that we had in the second portion of our presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. Let me say thank you to our families tonight who have joined in on this Zoom presentation to ensure that your boys and girls are meeting academic expectations and really understanding what we have to offer as a district as we migrate through these unprecedented times. On behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Keith Posley, we appreciate you for giving us the opportunity to serve your child. And thank you for being true partners in education. And thank you to our academic team for taking the time out to provide the presentation. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to our academic office, and we will gladly support you in the work and in educating your boys and girls. And again, thank you for trusting us with your scholars. Have a good evening.